19 days, and they make 4 changes tonight. Claudia Chico, Cassidy Davis, India Breyer and Sophie Hoban into the starting 11. Melina Ayres and Alexis Collins move to the bench, and there is no spot in the matchday squad for Olivia Page, Emma Bates or Hayley Johnson. Sophie Hoban has played 6 matches out of Newcastle's 11 so far this season, continuing to build up her minutes. And at the end of this very busy run, which culminates in the Jets having the bye this weekend, she'll be hoping to make a spot in the starting 11 her own. Let's take a look at Adelaide United. They make 2 changes to the team that beat Melbourne Victory 2-1 on Saturday. Sarah Morgan and into the captain's armband, Izzy Hodgson, as she is restored to the starting 11. The twins, Mel and Adriana Taranto, move to the bench. Karina Rossi is elevated to the bench. And Holly Murray is out of the matchday squad. It's a big night for Sarah Morgan. She's only played 33 minutes in 4 substitute appearances so far this season. Her first start of the campaign, and also her 50th game for Adelaide United. So Adelaide huddling up, and Matilda McNamara appears to be taking the final team talk, or one of the voices contributing to the discussion. Newcastle coach Stephen Hoyle has trusted his deeper squad. As many as 7 changes in this recent run of games, but it's yielded wins away to Sydney FC and also away to Melbourne City. The officiating crew tonight will be led by Michaela Ryan. Assistants are Amber Morris and Lucy Hungerford, and the 4th official is Charlotte Flynn. And Theo Siunis has already broken 1 long streak for Adelaide. They beat Melbourne Victory for the first time in 10 games at the weekend. So I'm sure he'll be hoping that he can also end Adelaide's winless run in almost 4 years away in Newcastle. Big night for the Jets. Their home fans expect plenty of them, and they've been enjoying the ride this season. And amongst those fans will be former player and former Young Matildas captain Sheridan Gallagher. She's in the front row tonight to watch many of her former teammates, having only just concluded playing football at the end of last season. She was the Jets' top scorer too. So Newcastle will kick off tonight in 5th place on 16 points. They can jump up to 2nd on the table with a win. Adelaide United start the match in 9th place on 14 points, and they can jump up to 4th with a win and also leapfrog Newcastle in the process. That's how close the ladder is at the moment. The rewards for winning are absolutely massive. And I'm sure both these teams were watching keenly as Brisbane Roar grabbed a late equaliser against Melbourne City last night to compress the ladder and keep things as close as they are. Fiona Wirtz enjoys playing against the Newcastle Jets. 6 appearances, 5 goals. One of her best and most prolific opponents finding the back of the nets. Anna Leitz in goal will be hoping to stop Fiona Wirtz tonight. No cap, no sunnies, and he's going to have to shield the eyes from the sun as the home side kick off at number 2 Sports Ground. This is a round 10 fixture in the Ninja A-League. Newcastle Jets taking on Adelaide United. And respectively, it is Newcastle's 12th and Adelaide's 11th game of the season. So 20-round home and away campaign. These two teams have only just ticked over the halfway mark, but already these matches are so vital in terms of the ladder. A long ball here for Adelaide means that Anna Leitz, the goalkeeper, will get her first touch with a goal kick. You can see it's a still night, so the setting sun will be the only real concern for defences and goalkeepers as we see a short goal kick. Chelsea Dorber pressing all the way up to Leitz. Tash Pryor takes possession to India Breyer, one of the 4 inclusions to the starting 11 for the Jets tonight. Through comes Emma Dundas, retained in the starters after an excellent performance against Melbourne City on Friday. Libby Copus-Brown plays the ball to Claudia Chico. Kelly Brown now. The football fern, New Zealand international, commits a foul here on Matilda McNamara, so a free kick to Adelaide. Another look here at Brown, just second to the ball and lunging in without actually being able to put a foot on the ball with that tackle. 3 goals so far this season for Kelly Brown, including most recently in that 3-1 win for the Jets at Amy Park. Battle for possession over on the right side of midfield. It's almost uncharacteristic now to see Adelaide without a Taranto in the starting 11. They're on the move here. Dorber, return ball. May not have been intentional. It appeared she was caught in possession, but it's still nearly set up kindly for Fiona Wirtz. Paige Zoyce with the pass to Emily Condon. Condon back to Zoyce. Trying to send it over to the right flank. Bryer's pass, seized upon by Sarah Morgan. Edge of the penalty area, Wirtz turns right into the challenge of Pryor. The battle for possession continues. Wirtz drifting left. Now Emily Hodgson getting forward to support the attack. A cross in, Pryor heads away. Well, Adelaide making the early running through 2.5 minutes. Let's take another look at this opportunity here. So it nearly set up kindly for Wirtz, but Adelaide out with confidence. Football Ferns goalkeeper is able to collect the ball. Here's Morgan. Cassidy Davis. Now Charlotte Lancaster. Back pass a little risky. Fiona Wirtz in the vicinity. And that pass out from Adelaide as well. Squeezing through a gap that was barely there, and Newcastle just can't get out of their defensive half at the moment. Dundas coming back to try and win the ball. Adelaide again through Izzy Hodgson this time. Of Stephen Hoyle, the Jets coach, carrying from the technical area, because he's probably identified that Adelaide have started the sharper and perhaps more determined of the two teams here. Yes, Anna! And you heard Yes, Anna as Leet clears the press and finds Charlotte Lancaster over on the left. First meaningful attack for the Jets. And it's all Adelaide as Lana Melek comes out and collects the 17-year-old goalkeeper, already has 2 clean sheets so far this season. Lancaster's been in good scoring form. Three for the season for former New Zealand Youth International, who was at the Wellington Phoenix from 2021 to 23. And then had to battle and earn her way back into the Ninja A-League, and Newcastle's the club that's given her an opportunity which she really has seized impressively. Wirtz turns away from Breyer, and India Breyer in late, and the whistle comes to Wirtz's aid. Breyer, who has largely played in the front 3 so far this season, but does have a long history coming through the ranks, playing as a left back, and that's where she's been deployed tonight. But already a few encounters with Adelaide wingers and Fiona Wirtz. And so 5 minutes in, Paige Zoyce has a set-piece opportunity. And Adelaide have committed plenty of numbers forward. So Zoyce with the free kick. An out-swinger, straight onto the head of Tash Pryor. Second ball is there to be won. Emily Condon brings it to ground. Cleared from the edge of the box by Hoban. Emily Hodgson, the outfielder, back for Adelaide, and then has Lana Melek behind her. Zoyce. Bringing the ball over to the right. And, well, Chelsea Dorber watches it run out. She's saying Adelaide throw, and good judgment from Dorber. The assistant referee agrees. Zoe Tolland pushing up from defence to take the throw in. Lancaster into a contest. Dundas versus Morgan, and this time it's Dundas who wins the foul at Morgan's expense. The 18-year-old midfielder has featured in 11 games so far this season. She was an unused sub in the win away to Sydney FC, though. No one Morgan's been immune from Stephen Hoyle's rotating to try and keep his squad fresh through this busy run of games. Hoban, Breyer and Dundas. Neat little passing triangle, putting Hoban into space, and now Libby Copus-Brown. She may have stayed onside, but couldn't keep the ball in. Running off the surface at the number 2 sports ground, long for a goal kick. Copus-Brown broke a run of 35 games without a goal when she scored against Melbourne City last Friday. So she's got a taste for scoring and wants 2 in 2.
Finish it! Ladies, you've got to see if it's a 3 or a 4.
Copus-Brown. Close control against the line. Sarah Morgan adamant she'd taken the ball out. Instead, Newcastle go backwards. Try and find some open space. Claudia Chico. Now Zoe Karapetis, the young defender. To Sophie Hoban. You see Adelaide have crammed the midfield. They do win the ball back with all those numbers around the ball. Katz Davis. Dundas, a quick head check. Decides backwards. To go forwards is the answer this time. India Bryant. Using her left foot, it's going to slide though. No real bend on the cross. And easy pickings from Melag in goal. Bryant has 2 goals this season, her only 2 A-League women's goals. Playing it back past to Adelaide. Look at Words closing in on the press though. So Leet, first time clearance. And it breaks into the midfield. Matilda McNamara is there. Now it's Condon's turn to press the goalkeeper. Adelaide attackers and midfielders taking turns, trying to hurry Newcastle up. Clear game plan, at least through the first 8 minutes. How long they can sustain that for is another matter, but they're keeping the heat up for now. So far, Newcastle shading possession, but Adelaide have edged the territory battle, you'd have to say. Morgan turning into midfield, takes on Dundas. Dundas responds by winning possession away. Over to Karapetis. So Karapetis advancing. Plays the ball out in front of Kelly Brown. Brown can't bend across into the box, but that's because it was blocked away. Corner kick. And so 10 minutes in, the first corner of the game. Tash Pryor, you see, getting forward there. You'd have to say Adelaide general has the height advantage though. Ella Tonkin and Matilda McNamara, their 2 centre backs. Chelsea Dorber back helping out the defence. It's a packed 6-yard box for the first corner of the night. Lancaster wasting no time. It's broken the hands of Melag, but there are so many numbers between the ball and the goal line. Kelly Brown tried to turn the corner. Breyer was there, and Adelaide send it out for a corner on the opposite side. So a nervous moment. But it was so busy inside that penalty area that after the goalkeeper came and didn't grab the ball, when it hit Chelsea Dorber, she didn't know where it had gone. Look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Adelaide players between Kelly Brown and the goal. And now it's Brown who will take the corner from the opposite side, and that one is an anticlimax as it bends into the near side netting. A bit like Charlotte Lancaster, started her Ninja A-League career at the Wellington Phoenix, spent a season out, went to Perth, has now come across to Newcastle. Dorber. And Chico just sees Words to ground with no foul given. Fiona Words looked across to the assistant referee, then to the central referee, no whistle. So play continues. Lancaster trying to drive a pass through midfield, intercepted by Zoyce, but her pass is intercepted in kind by Dundas. Right at Dundas, but you see him surrounded by 3 opponents. Newcastle looking to venture forward once again. Karapetis with a pass, maybe a winger swap already. As Lancaster's over on the right. And you see there's a rogue boot. Who's down? There we go. Fiona Words is saying, referee, I'm down to 1 boot. Adelaide charitably puts the ball out, so Fiona Words can make some equipment repairs. I wonder if she lost that in that challenge from Claudia Chico, or if that simply loosened it to come off later. Adelaide are going to give the ball back from this throw-in, you suspect, and they'll wait until their striker has got all the equipment ready to go. Minimum of fuss. And indeed, Adelaide give the ball back. Sporting gesture from both teams. Now it's back live and all to play for at the feet of Newcastle's keeper, Anna Leet. Plays it out to Chico. Shouts for handball against Condon. The referee lets it slide. Words trying to evade Karapetis over on the wing. Now Emily Hodson. McNamara. Hodson. Left-footed cross, tumbles into the box. Dorba ran straight into Tash Pryor, who snuffed out the chance before it could turn into a meaningful shot on goal. Kelly Brown. Dundas immediately engaged by Sarah Morgan. Draws the free kick. Second time tonight that Morgan has fouled Dundas. Karapetis' pass to the edge of the penalty area. Copus Brown playing in an attacking role tonight. As deep in the midfield as we've become accustomed to over her 130 game now Ninja A-League career. Ball down the right from Cass Davis, finds Sophie Hoban. Hoban fires! Side netting. A few in the crowd thought that was the back of the net. Hoban wide to the near side. First shot for the Jets tonight. Hoban hasn't scored yet in what is now 7 games this season. Going back to March, her most recent goal, that was, if you remember it, Newcastle's 4-3 loss to Melbourne Victory, where she essentially scored a fluke. It was a clearance that was cleared into her, and it ricocheted in off her shins. That's Sophie Hoban's most recent Ninja A-League goal, 1 of 4 in her career. Pretty good chance to score there, and they're on again here, the Jets, as Lancaster nearly threads through Copus Brown. The evasiveness of Libby Copus Brown there. A little escape, Ella Tonkin, but not run down the ball before Alona Melek came out and was able to collect. Dorba, possession given away. Copus Brown, Lancaster. That left foot has been causing trouble all around the league. On this occasion, it's blocked out for a corner kick. Well, the match winner against Sydney, the 3rd goal against Melbourne City. But tonight, a good block by Matilda McNamara foils Charlotte Lancaster. After Adelaide started the brighter through 10 minutes, Newcastle now on home turf, starting to take over the game. Kelly Brown, a better corner this time. Pryor recycles possession. Karapetis into the box, laid off. Hoban, sidestep. Lots of defenders between her and the goal, though. The nearest one to her was able to win the ball away. Davis one bounce, easily collected by the keeper. The warning signs are now there. Adelaide United. See pass accuracy almost dead level between the two teams, but it's Newcastle who are starting to really make their possession count.
You've got to get the shape right.
Block tackle by Breyer, falls kindly for Davis, but that pass as far as Izzy Hodgson. Now Zoe Toland. Tonkin. Toland. Down the right sideline. Tash Breyer first to the ball and taking no risks at all. Just rolls it out for a throw in. Breyer, who won her first Matilda's caps in the gap between Ninja A-League seasons, but hasn't been called up since Joe Montemuro took over the role. Angle here between Izzy Hodgson and India Breyer right against the line, and yeah, the expression from India Breyer, who thought she may have been infringed, is instead, well, the assistant referee, I suspect, has overruled the central referee, maybe, or vice versa. The end result is that it's a goal kick, and that's why you heard the smattering of applause. So maybe one spoke to the other over the earpiece. Anyway, Newcastle don't want to overcook this, because that was a risky pass back to Anna Leet. She took preventative measures to clear. Morgan. Cass Davis again. Lots of trust in Anna Leet to go back to her. Loose touch, nearly invited on Dorver. Ball is cleared to the right sideline. Kelly Brown punching into Matilda McNamara. She's a deceptively physical player, Kelly Brown. Don't be fooled by her stature. She'll give as good as she gets, if not better. But the end result here is not a foul, only a throw in. Coughed up by Adelaide. Lancaster can't take possession, and Toland back pass. Malak. Tonkin. Morgan. This is the ball. Newcastle take over. Dundas working with Hoban. Crossbar. And then first back to react is Toland, clearing it away. And the woodwork rattled down at Newcastle's attacking end. Did well to catch Adelaide in possession. And then Sophie Hoban, one shot into the side netting, another into the crossbar. She's getting closer. Still can't score her first of the season. Adelaide were already on notice. They've now got to find a way to stop Newcastle continuing their advance. Almost 20 minutes gone. Fans must feel like an opening goal is imminent. Tough attacking the game so far. Adelaide are the ones who need to stop Newcastle's momentum. Breyer. Good aggressive touch. Opens up the pitch. Into attack she goes. Crossfield ball to Kelly Brown. Brown looking for a pass. Adelaide trying to close all the channels. So Brown shoots from distance. A speculative attempt and hooks it wide to the left. See, Brown decided that with so many Adelaide players back, may as well go direct. The shot from almost a standing start wide of the target. Fiona Wirtz. Emily Hodgson, lapping run from Morgan will be honoured here. Morgan, and followed by Copus Brown. Back to Hodgson, pops it to the penalty spot. Collected on one bounce by Leet. End to end, that might suit the Jets. Away goes Lancaster. And again, 30 metres on offer. She takes the ball and then some. Hoban wide on the left. Lancaster uses her now. Oh, and the pass really making Hoban work, and that's an opportunity missed there for Newcastle. Lancaster, a good aggressive run into the attacking half, but then a pass that was not advantageous at all out into the path of Sophie Hoban. Adelaide need a steadying presence. They need their central midfielders on the ball at the moment, because if it stays end-to-end like this, Newcastle might strike first. Here's Kelly Brown, big deflection. Matilda McNamara saves the day. Brown's shot goes out for a corner, but only because of that lunge there from McNamara, which was absolutely vital. Kelly Brown knows the chances are coming thick and fast. This is where Adelaide needs some cool heads. Can they clear the corner? Keep the clean sheet intact. Under immense pressure now from the home team. Lancaster in swinging corner, and Melag, good catch. The young keeper stands up when needed. Clearance though, as far as Cass Davis. Hoban stayed on side. This did Brown. Adelaide getting numbers back. Davis cuts it back. Breyer. Now Dundas at the edge of the box. Deflected strike again. And it's set up at a kind height to catch. Emma Dundas, who scored her first career Ninja A-League goal against Adelaide United. On a famous day for the Jets. It was in their record win, 8-0, at the end of the 23-24 season over at Cooper Stadium. Newcastle have had all 6 shots, so even though there have been some scary moments for Adelaide playing out from the back, the Jets are taking over this game. 6 shots to naught and 2 on target to naught. They're fighting for everything at the moment. Fiona Words, you can see the frustration written across her face. What was a promising start to the night, it's now turning into quite the challenge for Adelaide, but if they can weather the storm here and avoid conceding, they will grow in confidence.
Work it out! Work it out! Let's go!
Adelaide have to retreat 10 metres here. Tonkin. Long ball, straight onto the head of Davis. Breyer. Wondering where Melina Ayres is. She's on the bench tonight for the Newcastle Jets. You wonder how could the ball live down in an attacking penalty area for so long without the ball being put in the net. I'm sure Ayres is watching from the sidelines, wishing she was out there with the chances the Jets are creating. The 11 that started the game are doing a pretty good job. Just need to find the finishing touch now. Dundas pressing on Tolland. Tolland clears and bends that along the line. Lead outside the penalty area, clips the ball over Wirtz, out to India Breyer. Dundas, the head check, knowing that Condon's in the vicinity. Ambitious pass from Breyer, intercepted by Morgan. Is this Adelaide's chance to go? Dorber can't quite thread through Wirtz. That's why Newcastle have got to be careful. Adelaide, you can see the setup there for them to go. This time the pass sharp to the other way. Copus Brown out to the right flank. Kelly Brown motoring forward. At the edge of the box, Kelly Brown. Numbers advancing. Brown, will she shoot herself? And just held onto the ball too long. The Jets had players streaming into the penalty area, but Brown neither shot nor passed in the end. But Newcastle still have possession. This time, though, with Adelaide back in numbers. First time cross. No one at the back post, but beyond the back post is Lancaster, and Cass Davis wheels around and scores. It had been coming, and the Jets get reward, taking the lead. And it is their most senior player, Cassidy Davis, sweeping in a left-footed shot. Lancaster gets the assist. Nothing Alona Mellon could do about it. And that was struck with some power. She stayed onside. A 6th career Ninja A-League goal in game number 184 for the captain of the Jets, Cassidy Davis. And it's her 2nd career against Adelaide. The other one came in that record win back in March 2024. And the Jets, who from the 10-minute mark until now have been utterly dominant, at last get a goal to reflect it. And Adelaide, who have been clinging on, defending for their lives, some crucial blocks, a couple of saves. They do concede to the 3rd shot on target of the game from Newcastle. And now, in a deficit, Adelaide need to stop this becoming 2. And to equalise straight from kickoff would be a great start. Condon! Oh! It kept bouncing across the face. Emily Condon on the end of Fiona Wirtz's pass. We know she's a good technician, but just couldn't get the bend on that shot. Almost like an attempted pass into the net. Condon unable to net her 3rd of the season. But better signs for Adelaide. Maybe the sting of finally conceding is what's brought them to life here. Copus Brown. Her link up with Kelly Brown is going pretty well so far. Kelly Brown, long throw, looking for Hoban. A couple of headers from Tonkin to clear. Karapetis. Back to Chico. Chico finds Hoban. One priority for Adelaide perhaps is to avoid conceding a 2nd, because midweek game away from home. Newcastle with really strong home support this season. 2-0 would be a massive mountain to climb, and the Jets are still firmly on top. Cross into the box, Mellor comes out, good confident claim. See the shadows have crept quite a bit across the ground now, so the entire defending penalty area for Adelaide is in shadow. Newcastle continuing their record as an excellent 1st half team. 12th game of the season, 10th 1st half goal. The Melbourne Victory have scored more. Jets, if this scoreline holds, Melbourne Victory is one of the many teams they'll be leapfrogging tonight. I know it's only early days, not even half an hour gone. But on the live table, the Jets are 2nd. Here's Karapetis. Kelly Brown. Hoban against McNamara. Must be said, Matilda McNamara is holding up her end. A couple of massive blocks so far. A lot of defensive work. 27-year-old now, McNamara, one of the senior figures in the Ninja A-League, never mind in the Adelaide team. 1 cap for Matilda a couple of years ago now. It's going to be a busy night if this trend continues. The way the first half an hour of the game has gone. Zoyce, Dorberg, Dundas backtracking. She made the ball her own. Back to her goalkeeper. Wirtz pressing, leap. Oh, trusted her passing ability and sent it straight back to Dundas. Bisected a couple of Adelaide opponents to do so. It's a good crossfield pass. Cass Davis, the goal scorer. On down the right flank. Hoban. McNamara getting goal side here against Sophie Hoban. And then Kelly Brown trying to get to the line before the ball ran out, but it is a goal kick. They're playing a high-energy, high-intensity game, the Jets. I think they know this is their last match before the bye. They get to sit back and just enjoy the weekend. When they come back from the bye, they'll be hosting the Wellington Phoenix. What New Zealanders have jokingly called the first Kiwi derby in the league due to the number of New Zealand connections. This Newcastle side. It was a 1-1 draw when they met at Porirua Park earlier in the season, but that game's not until the 1st of February, so they get a 10-day break after tonight. Here's a free kick for Adelaide. Ella Tonkin. Slides out, so Newcastle ball. This is where Adelaide need to compete. Copus Brown streaming through. Condon and Morgan, they're chasing at the moment, but that's where Adelaide need to spend more time on the ball. To start generating some attacks of their own. Now Newcastle are playing through them. Chico, Karapetis, Davis. Hoban. The return pass not quite to the advantage of Zoe Karapetis. Number 20 for the 20-year-old defender tonight, who was quite a prominent part of Newcastle 2 seasons ago, the 23-24 campaign, before she gave US College a go and decided to come back. She's got plenty of minutes this season, 6 appearances for her now. Newcastle have got an attacking half throw-in right in front of the Adelaide dugout. You can see all the seats for the subs are empty, so they've set their bench to go and warm up. There's still plenty of time to go before the half-time break, and Newcastle want more than one. Karapetis almost caught in possession here. So we'll take a look at where the game's taking place. That's a little bit more even in the 2 attacking thirds than the eye would have you believe. In the midfield, it's where the majority of the game is taking place. Bryant. Clean up here. Tonkin. McNamara. Morgan. Tonkin and Morgan and Adelaide, are they going to play a pass to move? Yep, and that's well done by Condon. Really made it work. Dorber, next pass all important. Dorber sweeps it out to the left. Wirtz is going to wheel onto the ball. Izzy Hodgson is forward, the cross goes up, Pryor got there and heads behind for a corner, but much better from Adelaide. They strung some passes together, and then they were able to do what hasn't been happening for 35 minutes, and that was play into the attacking third. Really good move. And again, some good signs as they pursue an equalizer. And this is a familiar picture for Adelaide fans. Last week at Cooper Stadium, it was Paige Zoyce with an in-swinging corner that scored the match-winning goal. Does she go for something similar here, or look for a teammate? Understandably, keeping corner-taking duty. Zoyce in at the near post, batted down by Leet, and to teammate in Breyer, who hooks it over the shoulder and away. Brown wants Chico, but Sarah Morgan is back and puts the ball over the fence. Claudia Chico receives the throw-in, staying in attack. Kelly Brown. A low pass, Copus Brown offside. The reason she was able to steal a march on the Adelaide defence because she'd strayed offside. You see the thumbs up there, loved the pass, liked the idea, Livy Copus Brown. Zoe Toland. Not taking any risks. A long ball down the right side. Again, Pryor heads out. Gives Adelaide an attacking half throw in. Dorber's throw. Pryor steps out in front of Wirtz. Dundas. Knocked off the ball by Wirtz, and now Dorber. Cass Davis steps out, anticipating the pass. Copus Brown. Surrounds of midfield. Dundas. Now Breyer. Decides against the long ball, but the switch is on. Over to Karapetis. Karapetis has got Chico. With the aid of a little deflection, it rolls out for a throw. Chico into the midfield. Sophie Hoban. Davis and Dundas. Dorber wins the ball away. Good defending from the front by Adelaide. Condon, not quite able to link up with words there though, but a couple of nice moments in the last 2 minutes from Chelsea Dorber, helping Adelaide trying to win the ball in their attacking half. Newcastle looking to clear it all. Hoban over to Copus Brown, sweeps it out to the left, half-hearted appeals for offside. The flag stays down. Charlotte Lancaster loads up a left-footed cross and puts it straight onto the head of Matilda McNamara. Follow up though, Breyer. Lancaster in an acre of space. Can she pick out a teammate? Holds fire this time. Breyer, very left-footed player, doesn't want to swing it in on her right. Instead, trusts Lancaster, the two lefties linking up, and Melag punches away. And this time, the referee is going to blow play dead. Because there's a player down, Kelly Brown. You see Melag here, and Kelly Brown coming through late and just got bumped to the ground. Not too serious. Brown's back on her feet, but the referee saw fit to just stop play there. Here's another look at the cross from Lancaster. I mean, it's all keeper, and then Brown comes in very late. Not really able to affect the contest. So, Mona Melag has had some really good confident moments. May not have been able to do much about the goal, but she's got a good height. It's going to, all things going to plan, grow into quite a commanding presence as a goalkeeper. It's worth bearing in mind she's only 17 years of age. Here's Pryor. Hoban, intercepted by Tonkin, but only as far as Dundas. Chico. Karapetis, mid-range pass, volleyed away, straight back to Chico, who advances. Cross on the fly, knocked down by Tolland, who clears. India Breyer. Dundas tried to roll away with the ball, and again, Dorber in the right spot. Tries to send words, but it's an overhit pass. Easily collected by Leeds. See the final third entries there, so the territory battle still going Newcastle's way. Just over 5 minutes of regulation until half-time. They have the only goal of the game so far. Intercepted by McNamara. Hodson, Morgan in a bit of space. Morgan sliding a pass through the left. Dorber will challenge late here and keep the ball in, but Tash Pryor maybe saw Dorber making that run. Got across to help out Karapetis, and Newcastle thus clear the ball. It's going to be an Adelaide throw-in. I'm sure players on the bench will be thinking about what minute they get introduced. Both Taranto twins on the bench for Adelaide. Their star player of last season, Erin Healy, also amongst the subs. So they've got a couple of trump cards that they can play, and they're probably going to have to if they want to find a way back into the game. Morgan, caught in possession. Well done by Hoban, combining with Copus Brown. Hoban, only Lancaster ahead of the ball. Lancaster, where that left foot has been on song, scoring goals in recent games, not quite able to replicate the magic here. It's a couple of shots in this first half for Charlotte Lancaster, one of them blocked, and that one high. Here's Words. Nice intercepted by Dundas. Chico, got to be careful. As Hodgson presses, Leet. Oh, off Izzy Hodgson. Adelaide's chance to intercept the ball and run it back. There is Aaron Healy on the right. And on the left, I'm going to give myself up. I can't tell you which Taranto it is. They're twins, they're identical twins. I need help with the numbers. It's definitely one of the Tarantos, both Tarantos on the bench tonight. I'm sure if parents and brother are watching on, they would have known. Throw in for Newcastle. Hoban. Dundas. Breyer. What's going on here? Karapetis, can she get there before the line? Little step over to try to keep it in, not quite. Karapetis is arguing that she did enough, but assistant referee over on the outer side, Lucy Hungerford, has the flag raised. It's combined well with Claudia Chico over on that right side. Zoe Karapetis so far in this first half. Josie Wilson has been one of the alternative right-sided defenders that Newcastle have used this season. She's on the bench tonight. Has had plenty of game time herself in this flurry of games where the squad has been heavily rotated. There is Josie Wilson along with Alexis Collins and Josie Allen. Newcastle subs all looking pretty relaxed. Look at all the youngsters there about to come on and have a kick about at half-time. They'll all be pretty excited about their 10 minutes to have some fun during the break. Here's a ball down the right. Opportunity here for Izzy Hodgson. Wirtz making a run in the middle. Hodgson tries to measure the pass. Just too much on it. It's not like Adelaide haven't had looks in this half. They may not have turned them into shots on target, but they've had some promising situations unfold. They just haven't been able to execute, at least so far in the game. Here's Hoban. Turning and playing the ball to Copus Brown. Was played onside. Copus Brown, oh, a heavy touch. Brave keeping from Melag. Copus Brown knows that was a big chance to make it two. It's a corner kick, but it could have been more. Melag right back to her feet. So Copus Brown had Zoe Toland in the middle playing her onside, but that touch there was just a bit too far out in front and allowed the goalkeeper to get to the ball first. 30 seconds of regulation to go in the first half. Can Newcastle double their lead before the break? Short corner. Copus Brown back out to Kelly Brown. And now the cross in. And another one grab catch for Melag. A booming clearance to the attacking half. Taking one additional minute to win what's been a pretty compelling contest so far. Adelaide running out of time to try and draw level before the break, though. Emily Hodgson went crashing in. She gave up her feet while Karapetis stayed standing. Leet. Kelly Brown dragged into the defensive half, shrugs off McNamara, and that might leave Adelaide one short in defence here. Matilda McNamara well up the pitch. Kelly, and here's a chance now for Libby Copus Brown. Hoban. Dundas, first thought was to turn away from the box. Just wait, bide her time. Hoban. Sophie Hoban working on the right sideline. Matilda McNamara now back in the familiar surrounds of centre back. 1 minute of stoppage is up, and that might be the last pass of the first half. Indeed it is. But the home fans will like what they've seen. Number 2 Sports Ground starting to become a pretty tough place to go in the Ninja Ray League. Cassidy Davis sweeping in the first goal and only goal so far of this contest. Newcastle doing most of the shooting, most of the attacking. Adelaide have had their moments though. And as long as it stays at a 1-goal differential, they will believe with the talent on their bench, a comeback is possible. For now, though, it's Newcastle Jets 1, Adelaide United 0. So let's get into the first half highlights of this match. And this is Sophie Hoban back in the starting 11 tonight. Put that one into the side netting. She had a couple of chances through the game to score that first goal of the season, Hoban. And again, was prominent here, putting that shot into the crossbar. And good reaction from Zoe Tolland to be first to the ball in order to clear it away. Was this opportunity in the Dundas, a blocked shot, which took the sting out of the ball and allowed it to be saved by Ilona Melag, who's had to be good in goal to keep the score to 1-0 for Adelaide. And this cross here, it was tentative defending from Izzy Hodgson, and the combination of Charlotte Lancaster and Cass Davis made Adelaide pay. Just an indecisive clearance, and the pass into the path of an unmarked Davis, who got forward to score her 6th career goal. As we go to the numbers, and Newcastle ended up dominating possession by the end of the half. 8 shots to 1, 3 on target to 0. That's the story of the game. Passing accuracy now more than 10% difference as well. Adelaide, a big halftime team talk for them, and we'll be back on the other side of this short break with more Ninja A-League. Live pictures from the number 2 sports ground in Newcastle. Jets men's coach Mark Milligan and his assistant Nick Stavroulakis enjoying the action. They're back at McDonald Jones Stadium on Friday night against the Wellington Phoenix. Oh, and club chairman Morris Bassetto sitting next to the men's coach as well. Let's find out a little bit more about one of the players we've been watching in the first half of this game, which is currently Newcastle leading Adelaide 1-0. Their goalkeeper, Adelaide. We spoke to the New Zealand international about her journey so far.
And it's Hawkins cutting in on her right. Goes for the strike herself, and that's good goalkeeping. Anna-Lee.
Best save I've ever made? Maybe the one-on-one save against Ella Toon for my Aston Villa debut. It was maybe 90+5 to take it to penalties, keep it at 1-1. Played in front of some big crowds there, big games, the Arsenals, the Chelseas were always a cool feeling. It was a challenging experience. I think anyone from New Zealand or anywhere down under knows that it's a big culture shock and a long way from home. So it's difficult with the time zones and just, starting a whole new life, kind of. I think a goalkeeper is always naturally a bit of a leader because of the unique ability we have to see the whole game and have probably the breath in our lungs to communicate as much as we do.
Applying the pressure and seeing lead off the line.
Conceding a goal and bouncing back is a huge part of goalkeeping.
That's a great ball into Michelle Heyman, her first sign of goal, and it sails in.
I've done a lot of work with the sports psychologists through New Zealand football, and that's helped a lot on pitch, off pitch, everything obviously all combines to the player and person you show up as on the day. Techniques in terms of on the field, in terms of staying present, for me can be engaging with the people around me, making sure I keep that feeling of connection with my teammates, checking in with the coaches on the sideline. For feeling present, getting my focus back on what's right in front of me. Could just be, digging my foot into the grass, clapping my hands together is a big one, the thunder clap, it's been called. For a young goalkeeper trying to go pro, I think that if you've already picked up the gloves, you've got that screw loose that you need, and just to keep loving it. Training for me is my happy place, and getting the right type of training that brings that joy and brings that fun will propel you more than taking things seriously ever could, is my personal opinion. So making sure that your training environment brings the best out of you and makes you happy. So then when it comes time to lock in on game day, it's more of a reward for the hard work that you've done and also the fun that you've had getting to express that in a way that's a bit higher stakes.
And what a save from Anna-Lee.
And as is customary at both men's and women's games for the Jets, they have the paper plane competition. It's a lot closer to the prize at number 2 Sports Ground at McDonald Jones. They make you throw it from the grandstand, at least at number 2 Sports Ground. They put you at the edge of the centre circle. So lots of fun at half-time, but the fun out on the pitch during the game. This is the only goal so far. Charlotte Lancaster with the assist into the path of Cass Davis, her first goal of this Ninja A-League season, her 6th career and her 2nd head-to-head against Adelaide United. If she plays on next season, fitness and form permitting, she'll hit 200 games. Cass Davis, match number 184 tonight. So, here's what's coming up this weekend. Brisbane Roar start the round on Friday night at Spencer Park. Central Coast Mariners hosting Western Sydney on Saturday in Gosford. This is a big one in Perth. Samco Football Centre, where the Glory are 4 wins from 4, taking on Melbourne City. Over at Porrorua Park on Sunday, Wellington playing Adelaide, so they head to Wellington after tonight. And then the first big blue of the season comes to the home of the Matildas on Sunday afternoon as the Victory take on Sydney FC. Erin Healy going through her warm-up at half-time. How many subs and when will Adelaide make as they chase the game in the second half? We're not far away from finding out. And don't forget, we're not far away from the AFC Women's Asian Cup either. That kicks off on Paramount Plus on March the 1st.
1, 2, 3, best believe I got something up my sleeve. I'm a queen and I'm coming for my throne. Should've known your days were numbered. It's my turn, what you learn.
Oh, I say it's incredible!
Welcome back to live pictures from number 2 Sports Ground, and that is last season's Jets goalkeeper Danielle Krasaniak. She moved on to AFC Toronto in the Northern Super League in her native Canada. And there are some current Jets, Hayley Johnson giving the heart, Olivia Page next to her. They're not in the matchday squad today, rotated out. Emma Bates there you see as well, but they were all part of that landmark win against Melbourne City on Friday. And you can see they're all smiling, no sour faces as being left out of the squad because they understand the big picture for the Jets. And right now, that squad rotation is paying dividends again because they hold a 1-0 lead at half-time and are heading for 3 consecutive wins as things currently stand. That's after they lost 3 consecutive games going into the F3 derby. They led and lost to the Central Coast Mariners, and since then, been in hot form. Adelaide United coming back out onto the pitch at number 2 Sports Ground. Haven't been able to win this season when they've conceded well, they did beat Canberra earlier in the season when they conceded first minute goal from Chiara Di Demizio. So they're looking for something similar here. And Erin Healy and Adriana Taranto are going to be 2 of those subs. We did flag in the first half that could potentially ignite a comeback here. Just waiting to see which 2 players are making way. The 4th official's not with Healy and Taranto at the sideline just yet. Healy scored 3 goals in her 10 games so far this season. Never scored against the Jets though. Adriana Taranto yet to score this season. In fact, hasn't scored for almost 2 years in the Ninja A-League now. Of course, a significant chunk of that was rehabbing a torn ACL. So we're going to have a hold-up here to start the second half because the 4th official is still typing in the numbers to the board. And now we get some answers. Chelsea Dorber makes way for Erin Healy. That's the first of the changes. And Adriana Taranto will also enter the game here at the start of the second half. How different will Adelaide look as a result? Izzy Hodgson is the other player who comes off, and Taranto, who has been playing in an unfamiliar role, at least at A-League women's level, on the wing this season, seemingly heading straight back out to the right wing position here at the start of the second half. So, as we kick off at number 2 Sports Ground, the start of the second half, will it be a new look Adelaide as they go chasing a 1-0 deficit? That is via a goal from Cassidy Davis for the Jets in the first half. Or will Newcastle come on with the job and make it a great winning week for them? No yellow cards in the first half, and Newcastle yet to turn to their own bench. Same 11 that started the match, kicking off at the beginning of the second half. Sarah Morgan goes to ground and then bounces back up and finds the ball fortuitously at her feet. Here's Healy, first involvement in the game. Now Emily Condon over to Taranto, herring after the ball down the right side. Taranto drops the shoulder and goes past Breyer, swings it across and Leap makes a catch, but Healy was waiting in the middle. That's what you want from your 2 subs, instant impact. And Taranto and Healy very nearly linking up to great effect. Chico plays the ball to Karapetis. Out. Tackle half throw in for Adelaide. Emily Condon. Now Hodgson. Namara's 1-2 with Morgan comes unstuck. And the defender finding herself up the pitch. A bit of an awkward landing there as Matilda McNamara tumbles out of the field of play. Just there, that so awkward, that right leg, how it planted in the ground. Thankfully, McNamara isn't hurt and is straight back up. It just looked a bit awkward. Not best pleased about how she was dealt with there. Adelaide in possession though. Healy trying to spin and face, and Claudia Chico right there, shoulder to shoulder. Taranto overruns the ball, has to double back towards the line. Breyer knows it's going to be a different challenge in this half for her as Taranto goes around her, and across comes Dundas. Good team defending there from the Jets after Taranto got the better of Breyer over on the wing, but hasn't she come on with some new energy in this game? India Breyer, I did mention in the first half that she's primarily been deployed as a forward this season rather than as a left back, and Adriana Taranto was able to get the better of her there. So a corner kick coming up. Emily Condon drifting it to the edge of the 6-yard box. Lancaster wins the header. Still needs to be dealt with. Dundas, a scuffed pass. Not away just yet. Left-footed attempt from Lancaster, and then Zeus pops the ball over the pack of players, and it's held on to. Got to play it down. It's Taranto who's a little worse for wear. Play's been whistled dead here, so I think we'll resume with a drop ball. Cass Davis, the Newcastle captain, going to check on her opponent here. And out comes the Adelaide trainer. So let's unpack the scramble at the fall of this corner. It was Lancaster initially, and then Taranto bumping into Chico. Sea of legs in there as that one. Lancaster clearing, I think, right into the nose of Adriana Taranto. Hopefully it hasn't drawn any blood. As Taranto walks over to the sideline. I think if it was bleeding, she wouldn't be using the bright white collar of the shirt. So that's good news. She should be back in just a moment. A little dazed after taking a blow from the ball at close range. Dundas caught in possession. Wirtz hoping for Healy. The clearance deflected. Healy keeping the heat on. Hodson back to Healy. Right-footed cross swinging in. Pryor up and under header. Dundas and then Pryor. The ball is cleared for an Adelaide throw-in, but they've come out with exactly what their fans would have been hoping for. Some new ideas, a bit more purpose in their attack. It's been a good first 5 minutes of the half for the visiting team so far. Backtrack here against Wirtz. Both teams think it's their throw. Newcastle get the decision. Leaks. Karapetis. Davis's pass a little hurried. Sarah Morgan takes possession. Zeus blocked by Dundas. That was important. Midfielders battling against each other. Chico. Back pass to lead, almost a hospital ball, but Kiwi international keeper is able to clear. McNamara. Through comes Healy, not able to play the ball to her own advantage. Dundas left it behind. Condon seized upon it. 1-2 with Healy. Make it a 1-2-3-4 though. Again, Adelaide hurried into the clearance, only as far as Healy, trying to return it with interest, but it bent off the outside of the foot. Newcastle. We saw this in the first 10 minutes of the game. They couldn't escape their defensive half. Adelaide's press had a real threat to it, but what it didn't have attached was shots on goal. They just didn't make Adelaide work between the sticks. And then Newcastle got a foothold in the game and were able to really swing the momentum, but the second half has started in similar fashion. Kelly Brown chasing a long ball here. Ilona Milak, who's been a virtual spectator since returning for the second half, gets the clearance onto the foot of Healy. Healy bumped by Chico, free kick. No arguments from Chico there. She was second into the ball after he knocked it away from the oncoming defender. Here's Taranto. Veering towards the top of the box. Taranto catches the deflection. It was a deflection off a teammate. Goal kick rather than a corner. Mentioned Adriana Taranto, almost 2 years since her last goal in the Ninja A-League, February 2024 for Western United against the Brisbane Roar. Good throw in by Kelly Brown. Morgan turns away from Hoban. Long pass, overhit on this occasion. Leeds. Pryor. Now Chico. Hoban having to work and is able to block. Pass there from McNamara, but it's all Adelaide. Solid header from Chico. Healy. Pryor with words. Again, pressing up towards the keeper. Dundas, risky pass, but stuck it over to Pryor. Now Davis, Newcastle, not out of the woods just yet. See Adelaide buzzing around, trying to force an error. Remaining Adelaide subs, you see at the rest of your screens, they're being told to go and warm up. Newcastle have played their way out of trouble and turned defence into attack. Here goes Karapetis. Ball into the middle, bouncing past Copus Brown. And now Lancaster. Cross back to the edge of the area. Hoban. Karapetis. Well, didn't strike it with any real conviction. She does have one Ninja A-League goal, Zoe Karapetis, but when she did score it, it was a bouncing long ball that just got the better of the defence and keeper. The day she scored it, it wasn't actually a decisive strike on goal, and you see there, shot that one like a defender. Healy in an aerial duel against Pryor. Comes off second best. We saw at half-time that possession was 63-37 in Newcastle's favour. Adelaide have wrestled it back a little during the first 10 minutes of this second half. 50-50 in the second half isolated, so that's why the number has only ticked down ever so slightly. But in terms of perception of the general game, it does still feel like Adelaide are making things happen, everything except an equaliser. Davis against Hodgson, and too much from Emily Hodgson this time. Free kick. Again, no arguments from the defender. Knew that she was in late and put the left leg across the shins of Cassidy Davis. Leeds moving outside her penalty area. Karapetis not able to produce a flick on. So the Jets bench today, Josie Wilson, a defender, Lauren Allen, a winger, Melina Reyes, centre forward, Josie Allen, another winger, Alexis Collins, another centre forward. A very attacking bench for the Jets today. They can play Lauren Allen as a defender if they want to. It's pretty much one similarly oriented around chasing a game rather than defending a game, though. As we approach the hour mark, the intrigue builds as to how they will act. Or are they happy? The 11 that started the match. Lancaster around the corner. Breyer breaking forward. Copus Brown. Back to India Breyer. A sweeping left-footed ball. Kelly Brown. Went for the spectacular. Did not catch it quite the way she would have hoped. It was a really good cross from India Breyer to find Brown. Could she have taken one more step and leaned into a header? She decided to go for the volley. And sliced out. A wry smile, but Newcastle's best chance of the half so far. It's taken 12 minutes for them to start to look like they might add to their 1 goal. As Curtis Brown wrestles Sarah Morgan and fouls her here. I wonder how many minutes Sarah Morgan has in the legs. Speaking of subs, there's Melina Ayres for a warm-up. She has 4 goals in 10 games in her Ninja A-League career against Adelaide United. And again, I'm sure she's been itching to get out there, and it's been a pretty open and attacking game so far. Have her say. Don't let the scoreline deceive you. Tonkin. Words chasing the long ball. Chico. Stand-up defending from Chico. And the referee right there on the scene. No free kick. Lancaster gets the better of Tolland. Libby Copus-Brown making ground in the middle. Lancaster finds her now. It slides on. Kelly Brown steadies and saved. A second chance and into the side netting. Big opportunities for the Jets. And just like the first half, they absorbed for 10 minutes, and now they are starting to take over. The game has swung back in their favour. That really should have been 2-0. Whether it was the first chance, which Alona Mellark saved really well, or the second, which Kelly Brown drove into the side netting. A couple of gilt-edged chances for Newcastle to double their lead. And a real let-off for Adelaide. Adriana Taranto. Erin Healy, long shot, and held on to by Anna Lee. Shot on target, but the main difficulty there was bouncing right in front of the goalkeeper. Lee went to ground and stopped it becoming difficult to deal with. Still a 10% difference between the two teams in passing accuracy, perhaps reflective of Adelaide playing a few more long balls and Newcastle just a bit better execution through this game. Healy finds words here. Emily Condon. Now Sarah Morgan. Words. Hodgson. Frees the feet for a cross into the near post. Healy! Adelaide equalise. What a good finish from Erin Healy, and the half-time substitute has made the impact, and the Reds are level. Emily Hodgson measured the cross. Erin Healy, look at this near post run, able to get between Tash Pryor and Claudia Chico, and that allowed her an uncontested volley across the keeper. It's still a really good finish to avoid Adelaide in goal and bring this game level at 1-1. And where Newcastle let Adelaide off the hook at the other end with that double chance for Kelly Brown barely 2.5 minutes ago, now Erin Healy, with her 4th goal of the season and 12th in her Ninja A-League career, has levelled this game up. They've scored with their first shot on target for the half at the hour mark. It's just taken a bit of oomph out of the crowd as well. There will be a few Newcastle players acutely aware of the wealth of chances that they had through the first half, and then just the minutes before the equaliser to potentially put this game out of sight. Healy made the desired impact. Hodgson, 1 assist already, keeps the ball in. Morgan bursting through midfield. Adelaide walking on air, but that pass, that's the air out of the balloon. Bryant coming back in the other direction, blocked down. Morgan gets a second chance. Taranto knew that Wirtz was on. Against Claudia Chico. The winner throw in. And the fourth official's board is going to go up. Newcastle are going to respond. We saw Melina Ayres warming up, but the equaliser means that this sub is really necessary. And Emma Dundas, who did play the full 90 against Melbourne City on Friday, comes off after an hour here. It's been a busy game for her in central midfield, but she's the first to leave the game for the Jets. And on comes Melina Ayres. We suspect Ayres will go up top, and that'll push Libby Copus-Brown a bit deeper into the midfield. Adelaide are going to make a change of their own. Paige Zoyce hasn't been quite as prominent today as she might have hoped, coming off a really good game against Victory on the weekend. And Mel Taranto comes in to give Adelaide some fresh legs in midfield. Now, both the Taranto twins and Erin Healy are into the game after all three of them started on the bench. Words turning into a challenge from Chico. Mel Taranto straight into the action off the bench. Emily Condon, a player who can make something happen here, extracts the feet, got a shot away, and it bounced into the gloves of Leet before Erin Healy could try to redirect it elsewhere. But Healy, backtracking, wins possession. Morgan, slide tackle comes in from Copus-Brown. Mel Taranto. The twins link up. Adriana brings the ball down. Adriana Taranto. A couple of shots now in this second half for Adriana Taranto. That one going high. India Bryce still having her hands full, marking Adriana Taranto over at left back for the Jets. Leaks. Again, clearing at the last second before Fiona Wirtz was there. Morgan to Healy. Erin Healy runs straight into the challenge of Pryor, who's a little sore as a result. A heavy bump. Healy. Pryor is going to watch this one, and it's just got enough on it to roll out for a goal kick. Well, when Newcastle were in front, they jumped up to second on the live table, as Pryor is going to request the trainer come out here, perhaps. She's favouring her left foot. This is a player that the Jets can ill afford to lose, especially given the composition of their bench tonight. We saw at half-time Olivia Page, Emma Bates, a couple of defenders sitting in the crowd rather than on the bench tonight. If they did have to make a sub, they'd probably have to put Cass Davis in at centre-back, or maybe think about playing Josie Wilson at centre-back, which is something they have tried this season. Davis previously has played in centre-back rather than defensive midfield for long stretches of her career. It's almost like a strategic timeout, this break here, with the Pryor concern. But yes, I mentioned the live table. Newcastle were second when they were in front. As things stand, they would be moving into fourth place, leapfrogging both Perth and Melbourne Victory. While Adelaide would be staying in ninth, but would be moving to within 1 point of sixth placed Perth. That's from the same number of games played. Adelaide's 11th of the season tonight on 15 points, and Perth have played 11 already. They're on 16, currently holding 6th spot, the lowest place in the finals. So the Jets are going to restart play here with Pryor walking under her own steam and seemingly okay to come back on. Hodson, Copus-Brown, Sarah Morgan. Ayres. Tash Pryor back on, back into the action. Healy advancing. Healy! Good save. Adelaide parries the ball out for a corner. But Erin Healy is looming large as a potential match winner out there tonight. 1 goal already, and that was a stinging strike. And the end result is a corner kick. Emily Condon has a couple of goals direct from corners in her career. We're about to see an in-swinger. Condon to the back post, and a good confident catch. It's been a good minute for the Jets keeper, Adelaide. A good save and now a good claim. And a good clearance as well. Compass Brown up against Sarah Morgan. Sophie Hoban. Tilda McNamara gets across to clear. Hoban veers right. Put the cross into the near post where Mel Taranto was able to knock the ball down. Over the head of Breyer, Fiona Wirtz. Can she escape with the ball? Still Wirtz holding it up here. Jets players chasing shadows at the moment because Taranto is breaking forward now and nearly threaded it through. Tash Pryor stepped out to win the ball away. And a late tackle here from Hoban is going to be blown up for a foul on Mel Taranto. More subs coming. And Karina Rossi is going to come on for Fiona Wirtz, so Wirtz not able to match her goal-scoring effort from the Melbourne victory game at the weekend just gone. Still only one for the season for the Englishwoman, the former Julie Dolan medalist. She heads to the bench after 70 minutes, and on comes Karina Rossi. Hasn't played since the 13th of December, so key minutes for her. The 18-year-old, 6th appearance of the campaign, though. And how she would love to make an impact here with 20 minutes to go. Taranto with a free kick. McNamara's initial header. Davis's clearance. And now Rossi. First touch off the bench was a shot. And it was blocked away by Cass Davis. Well, Theo Siunis, the Adelaide coach, has got his subs spot on so far. Rossi going to be the next masterstroke. Condon turns and faces the penalty area. Healy's up, but doesn't get any purchase on the header. And that's a live ball as it runs through the box and out to right back. Leet has no choice but to clear for territory. Tonkin. McNamara. Now Healy. Switching to Adriana Taranto. Taranto at the edge of the box. Cuts onto her left side, and that's 3 shots now in the half for Adriana Taranto, but that one, her last attempt, high, and this occasion wide as well. Still, no lack of intent from Adelaide. See here, they've levelled up the final third entries with their territorial advantage in this second half. They were being dominated in the numbers at half-time, but like the scoreline, they've really squared up general play. Pass blocked on this occasion. Hoban trying to launch a counter-attack for the Jets. Kelly Brown. Melina Ayres off and running. Tonkin is going to be first to the ball, and the back pass to her goalkeeper Melag is a good one. Jets getting a double sub ready. Watching on keenly from the sidelines are the Allen namesakes, Lauren Allen and Josie Allen. And we're going to see them here. Kelly Brown comes off, and well, it'll be a night where Kelly Brown had some really good chances to score, but wasn't able to take them. Will Newcastle ruin? So Lauren Allen enters the game, and her namesake Josie Allen is also going to be subbed on here. And Charlotte Lancaster, who, again, like Kelly Brown, had some chances tonight. A couple over the bar, one blocked, and of course the assist for Cass Davis's goal. So a good night out for Charlotte Lancaster, just wasn't able to continue the goal-scoring streak. So can two changes for the Jets interrupt Adelaide's momentum? Not when Erin Healy's on the ball. Healy fires! Wide right. Well, she was in space. She had the chance. And it did catch a touch off the shins of Tash Pryor, out for a corner. And that might have proved oh so important to send it wide of the target. Adelaide still have a corner kick. Signal given by Emily Condon. What does the triangle above the head mean? Where's the ball going? See Sarah Morgan unmarked at the edge of the box, but Condon's thoughts are of bending it into the near post, and McNamara's up. It's a real scramble, and in. Forced over the line, and Adelaide lead. They have come from behind, and a near post corner has been the tonic. And the congratulations appear to be coming for the youngster, Karina Rossi. Let's unpack the scramble. The initial chances, and yep, it's Karina Rossi with her first Ninja A-League goal. The 18-year-old from Melbourne has come off the bench to score. What a moment for her. She was the hero of the NPL Victoria Grand Final with a double for Box Hill United, and now she has her first goal on the national stage. The former Melbourne City Youth Scholarship player has scored in her new club colours. And Theos Eunice has got the subs absolutely on the money tonight. Two players that have come off the bench have both scored, in Healy and now Rossi. And there is the gaffer. No time, no opportunity for a smile. His team might have turned it around, but there's still 16 minutes to go and defending to be done because the Jets have a corner kick. India Breyer's left foot is running over to take. Breyer's corner. And harmlessly out at the near post. A missed opportunity for the Jets.
Come on, ladies, we have to drive this, come on!
Hear the words of urging from Coach Stephen Hoyle. Home ground advantage. A hopeful home crowd. It was very vocal tonight. The Jets had things going their own way for so much of this match. Adelaide have shown real character to come back here. They are 15 minutes away from what could be a priceless win. Adriana Taranto looking for Rossi. She'll be walking on air at the moment after scoring her first goal in the league. Hoban. Runners had broken wide and Hoban's pass was right down the middle. Led away by Elena Malag. Erin Healy shrugs off one challenge, but he can't shrug. Tash Pryor just leant in and bumped Healy off the ball. It will be an Adelaide throw. So I mentioned the live table. Adelaide would be jumping up to 4th spot, 17 points. As things currently stand, they would be leapfrogging both Melbourne Victory and the Newcastle Jets and Perth Glory in doing so. As we see this shot bend well wide and just out for a goal kick. The ball kid was a bit keen. The ball hadn't gone out before it was. The second one was being hurled back into play, but all's well that ends well.
Hey, come along, drop your line, drop your line! Drop your line, drop your head!
Tangle for the ball over on the wing. We see the shots on target. Adelaide have taken the lead on that count. It was all Newcastle in the first half. 6 on target, 2 in the back of the net so far in the second 45. Hoban. Diagonal ball, Lauren Allen and Malag out to the edge of the box. A little bit of passing collision, but of all the players who are good sports and not doing something like that on purpose, I think Lauren Allen would be at or near the top of the list. That was purely an accident. So, another sub. Theo Siunis is on a hot streak with the players he's bringing off the bench. Why not bring on another young attacker? Amelia Macris now coming on. Emily Condon can afford a smile as she heads to the bench. And on comes Macris for her 6th appearance of the season. And she's still searching for a first Ninja A-League goal since October of 2023. It's her 40th appearance tonight, 3 career goals. Look at that, straight into the press, straight into the action. Oh, least clearance, not a good one. Rossi and Pryor able to respond. Melina Reyes. Ball over the top. Hoban, an agonising bounce. It just bent away. There was a bit of backspin on the ball and it didn't sit up kindly for the on-rushing Hoban. Newcastle will still have a throw-in in their attacking half, though. Hoban, really good control. Will wrestle off the defence. Breyer, on the wrong side for a left footer. Lauren Allen. Pryor pushing into the attacking half. Copus Brown. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Almost an identical spot to where that phase of play began. Pryor pushing forward, it seems. Here's the right foot of India Bryant. It's a good teasing cross. Cleared away by Macris. Josie Allen hasn't got involved in the game yet so far. Cross to the penalty spots and headed wide. Tash Pryor. I wonder, was that just a one-off decision on that particular move, or are we about to see Tash Pryor permanently thrown forward? Newcastle going to unlock the back gate to try and chase an equaliser here, or I think the night is young. She's returned to more familiar surrounds. Adelaide continue to balance up the possession stat, which was 63-37 at half-time, and now, in addition to the 2 goals and general play, they have been on top, but 10 minutes to go. Maybe we're about to see another surge from the home side. They really need to bring their home fans into it. They can get really rowdy at number 2 Sports Ground. Here's Breyer with the free kick. Lands it at the penalty spot. Headed away initially by Adelaide. Fresh air swing at the ball. Back to Chico. Dry with a little flick on. Lauren Allen. Underlapping run from Hoban. Goes to ground under the challenge of Morgan. Now the whistle goes. And the groans tell the story. The infringement goes against Sophie Hoban. It's a free kick Adelaide's way. McNamara puts the ball down at the edge of the box, took the sting out of the pass, but still defending to be done for Adelaide here. Through comes Josie Allen. Lauren Allen plays it across the area, and then it's sliced away and out by Tonkin. Corner kick. And the subs combining to good effect there, just creating a bit of concern in the Adelaide defence. This is what the Gents need if they're going to grab an equaliser here. India Breyer wasting no time over the corner kick. Strikes the corner. High to the back post. Ayres was thinking about a volley, but Taranto wore her closely. Davis chasing the ball out to the line. It didn't find a way out. Adriana Taranto refused to give up on it. And now is bursting forward here. Bumped off it by Hoban. Good strong tackle. Healy. Well, caught Copus Brown in possession, and we're going to see the first yellow card of the game. It's taken 82 minutes. But as soon as Copus Brown lost possession there, she went and committed an intentional foul on Erin Healy right there. the grab around the hips, and the referee is almost always going to reach for a yellow card when you commit a deliberate foul like that. Still, a yellow card may be better than letting Aaron Healy break away and sprint half the pitch. Means Adelaide can try to go forward, but they won't get any joy here on that crossfield ball. Morgan, Rossi. Karina Rossi sent wide. Can she wheel back onto the ball? She can't. It's a good height. Karina Rossi still growing at 18 years of age. Still not completely clear what type of forward she's going to become. Very versatile attacker. Filled with confidence after scoring here tonight. Here comes Hoban for Newcastle. Lauren Allen, first time cut back. It misses Hoban and it misses all the Jets. Taranto comes through and picks up the ball. It's a tease from Newcastle, that promising attack. Rossi gives possession away. Bryant towards the sideline. Lauren Allen back to Copus Brown, has to turn away from backtracking Rossi. Davis. Lauren Allen, did she stay onside? She didn't. Whistle goes, and even though the ball has been dinked into the net by Melina Reyes on the follow-up, the flag of Amber Morris was long raised. And a shake of the head there from Lauren Allen and straying offside. Hard to tell on that angle, but Matilda McNamara was absolutely certain that Lauren Allen had been trapped offside. Came out and made the save regardless. Jets are preparing one more attacker. Alexis Collins is going to be thrown on soon. Could it be a night for first-time goal scorers? We've seen Karina Rossi net her first for Adelaide. Collins is still keenly anticipating her first goal in the Ninja A-League, the 17-year-old. Here goes Macris. Great bustling run. And then puts the ball out in front of Rossi, but Pryor sends it back to Leitz. Karapetis, can't find Josie Allen with the pass. Mel Taranto. Macris grabbing a grapple from Karapetis. Chico got the body position right, able to clear while facing the goal. Tumbling to the edge of the box from Taranto. Now Hodson, Morgan. 5 minutes of regulation to go. And the clock is starting to become Adelaide's friend. Ball popped over the top, offside. Adriana Taranto straying offside there. And that is going to prompt the sub here for Newcastle. So Libby Copus Brown comes off, maybe the yellow card, the final straw. And she'll be replaced here by youngster Alexis Collins, her 7th appearance of the season. She was actually really close to scoring that first Ninja A-League goal against Melbourne City. It was her shot that was saved by Elena Mires into the path of Kelly Brown for City's opener. For Newcastle's opener against Melbourne City on Friday. So she's getting closer and closer. Maybe tonight's the night for that first goal. Chico's back pass here. Healy nearly cut it off. Lux of fortune with the clearance though. Finds Davis. And now Bryant. Tries for a long diagonal ball. The header bends back the wrong way as far as Adelaide are concerned. Newcastle trying to seize on possession. Karapetis. Morgan. Dinks it only as far as Davis. Ayres hurrying it on. Macris backtracking, being pursued by Josie Allen, and Macris just drives it into the ad boards surrounding the pitch. Cross in from Ayres, and it slides on without a decisive touch. Lauren Allen slams the turf in frustration. I think it grazed the boot on its way out. It was a good cross from Ayres, and Lauren Allen lunging at full stretch, and yep, maybe it just flicked off the right shoe on the way past. That takes the night to 3 minutes of regulation to go. Adriana Taranto, Sarah Morgan, Aaron Healy. Karina Rossi is just going to chase this ball out to the wing, force Adelaide to clear in a hurry rather than with any direction. I'll say Adelaide have really stuck to the task of pressing up to Adelaide tonight, giving her very few easy passes out of the penalty area. See the renewed energy from the subs even at this late stage of the game. Hoban. Pryor. McNamara. Back to Mele. Driven clearance. Rossi leads the line for Adelaide. It's going to go keeper to keeper though. Hodson. Taranto, Sarah Morgan, McNamara. Second ball taken by Lauren Allen. Now from the wing, Collins, the most recent sub. And she doesn't get her pocket picked by McNamara. Wrestles possession back. Ayres foiled. Ball falls at the edge of the box. Hoban. A shot, catches one deflection and then swing and a miss from Tonkin, and it'll roll down to the keeper. This was the battle out on the wing. It was just a tangle, and eventually Collins, but Ella Tonkin was able to clear before Melina Ayres could affect the play. So it ran down to Mona Melak, who's only now just kicked the ball into the attacking half. Last minute of the 90. How many minutes of stoppage for Newcastle to keep chasing? Leet. Adriana Taranto. Turns onto her right side. Plays one more pass. Macris. Chico blocks her advances. And is recycling the ball. Back to Mel Taranto. Now Erin Healy. And they're not able to slalom through a couple of Newcastle players, but the ball is down the right end as far as Adelaide are concerned. Level with the penalty box down in the attacking half, and they hold a 2-1 lead. Five additional minutes goes up on the board as a hopeful cross is not dealt with here. And Adriana Taranto is foiled, and now Karapetis clears some tired, ragged play at the end of the night. Here's some fresh legs, though. Alexis Collins plays the pass to Lauren Allen. Moment of truth here. Lauren Allen cuts it back. Collins foiled. Great play, Ella Tonkin, to block the shot. And Alona Melag is out to dive on the loose ball. Well, it was a 2-on-2 break. Lauren Allen decided against the shot. And Tonkin in the right spot. And credit Matilda McNamara as well, who went sliding in, trying to get in front of Lauren Allen there. Maybe just enough to put her off from shooting herself. Almost 1 minute of the 5 ticked by. Great defending from Pryor. Took the ball away from Healy. Lauren Allen off and running. Gaps opening. Alexis Collins from the wing. Collins cuts it back. India Breyer. Cass Davis, Sophie Hoban, pass to the edge of the box, shouts for handball, and Lauren Allen, well, played a pass that Adelaide seized upon, and they put it to the sideline. Stephen Hoyle grabs the ball, gives it back to his captain here, Cass Davis. Can Newcastle get it right in the desperation of these final minutes? Collins turns and faces, and now fires a shot deflected. Josie Allen tees up Sophie Hoban, step around at the edge of the box and blocked away. Adelaide with numbers when they needed them. Newcastle are throwing everything after an equalizer here. Wave after wave of attack, and Erin Healy gets back to knock it off the feet of Josie Allen. It's going to feel like a long final 5 minutes of stoppage here for the Adelaide fans. Ball bouncing into the box. Pryor thrown forward again, and is that a corner? It is. India Bryant wasting no time, running over to the corner. I don't see Adelaide up just yet for the Jets. Everyone else, though, getting forward for the home side. Pryor. A high corner is challenged. And the ball is kept in by Lauren Allen. Hoban, Rossi and Macris. Adelaide clear their lines. And here is the keeper. Adelaide into the attacking half. Bending back to the edge of the area. Healy trying to help out. Melina Ayres. Her path blocked. Chico. And now Josie Allen. Look how busy and crowded it is. Good luck finding a way through. Who can produce the magic touch? Not on this pass. Out comes Ilona Melag. And look at her. Cool customer. Yep, a deep breath. Take every second the referee gives you. Adelaide are now 2 minutes away from a massive win. Ball blazed long. Look at that. Both teams have just laid siege on each other's goal tonight. 2 XG apiece, but it is 2-1 in the score that matters. Bryant gives the ball away. Healy. Can Adelaide put this one to bed? Rossi, Macris, entangled with Karapetis, and Hoban still running at the end of the night comes through. Now Pryor, and that's a good clearance for Adelaide. It'll bend and bounce, and Adelaide just wants to drive it forward. Theo Siunas shouting from the sidelines. Will the Adelaide defence hold out here? Hoban, Davis, last minute of stoppage. India Bryant onto the preferred left foot. It takes a deflection off Morgan. Collins bobs it through. Ayres foiled. Deflected away. And the ball runs out for a throw-in. So often when it's Melina Ayres in that situation, it ends up in the net. Davis volleys it on, and Tonkin just drives it away. How did this stay out? Collins has passed through and blocked by Ilona Melag. What a good save. India Bryant, only seconds left to play with. It's high, it's dipping, and it's caught. And Melina Ayres goes bumping in, but it's now only 15 seconds of stoppage to go. If Adelaide can just drive this into the attacking half, that might be that. The clock might run out on Newcastle here. Leet drives it forward. If it stays in, maybe one last chance. Tolland, back pass, Melag. Whistles in the mouth. Adelaide stand tough. What a win. They win away in Newcastle for the first time in almost 5 years. And they do so coming from behind. What a defensive stand. It's the sort of win that can make a season, and look what it means to the young goalkeeper, Ilona Melag, the 17-year-old. And along with her defence, Adelaide have come out on top at the #2 sports ground. 90 minutes for Sarah Morgan tonight, having only played 33 for the season so far. And you got to say, Theo Siunas, super coach tonight. His 2 goal scorers came off the bench, and all the subs had such an important role to play. It's a memorable night for Adelaide as they prevail over the Newcastle Jets by 2-1. So let's go to the match highlights. If you joined this one late, you caught the most dramatic end of the action, because this one was always open and attacking, but it never let up tonight. And you see Sophie Hoban here. That shot went into the crossbar in the first half. Looking for that first goal of the season, Hoban. Luckless tonight. And then this was the opening goal of the game. Some tentative defending allowed Charlotte Lancaster to knock the ball across the penalty area, and Cass Davis was there to knock the ball past Ilona Melag, and on a night where she did very little wrong, the goalkeeper.